Well, hello there. And today I wanted to share with you some big updates for your LinkedIn lead generation. This is episode 40 of I Did That and You Can Too. So let's get it right into it, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching. I wanted to share with you my LinkedIn journey. I started using LinkedIn for lead generation back in October of last year. And it was through the guidance of my coach that recommended that I did this. Now, in that time frame, I think, well, I had a little over 500 connections that I had already generated from my corporate job that I had as a mechanical engineer. So I had an active account that was already established, well established. So my coach had recommended that I send out connection requests on based on different searches that were related to my business, and that's what I did. So I did that. I was probably averaging, initially starting off, probably about 50 to 80 new connection requests a day. So on average a week, I was doing anywhere from 250 to maybe 400 different connections that I sent out to folks. So it was really working for me. I got a lot of connections, and I've been able to build my connection list up from about 500. I think I'm close to 4,100 right now, connections that I have. So it's been really great. I've gotten a lot of great leads out of it, new customers, as well as I think about 7 or 8 recruits just from that interaction. So it has worked. I mean, it's done me well. Well, all was well until I got this idea. And the idea was I wanted to do my lead generation maybe 4 days out of the week. And I was going to use this fifth day to actually work on my courses, my e-courses for my business. So when I did that, I went over the threshold. My goal was, I think I was trying to do maybe about 500 connections a week. So that would average out to be either about 100 a day, and me pushing it into four days, it came out to be like 125 a day. Well, no, you all, needless to say, I got into LinkedIn jail big time. Couldn't use my account, couldn't send out connections, really was clueless to what was going on. I have a premium account, and I actually sent an email to them asking, okay, well, I have premium. I'm not even sure why I got locked out. And she basically, the person responded back to me and told me they didn't care if I had premium, that I had sent too many connections, and that's why I was locked out, and I could potentially be locked out for 30 days. So I was just like, oh, wow, I've heard of Facebook jail, but not LinkedIn jail. So I have definitely hit the limit. And it's kind of a love, I guess, a good and a bad thing. I'll say it that way instead of a love hate. It was a good and bad thing. Because I felt like I was really putting my effort in. I was doing all that I could do to grow my business. I mean, I had seen results from it. I had gotten customers. Unfortunately, I don't know how many customers, but I have gotten customers. I have gotten recruits. Like I said, it's about 6 to 8 recruits that I've gotten over that period of time from LinkedIn. It's been really great for me. But that slap on the hand was kind of just like, okay, so I'm going to have to step this back a bit. So this happened probably like around January timeframe. So I stepped back and I was like, okay, I'm not even going to go close to the daily limit. I'm going to back it down to probably about 50 a day. So that's what I did. I was cruising about 50 a day. So instead of doing the 500 connection requests, I was down to about 250. So it was going great. Then all of a sudden again, I get this message. Now I get this message saying that I have reached my weekly limit. And I'm thinking, I haven't done anywhere close to the weekly limit. So then I start doing all this research, trying to figure out what's going on. It's like I'm reaching out to folks that are, networking on LinkedIn like me, and asking them if they're seeing the same thing, or if LinkedIn is slapping my hand again for me being in jail. But anyway, I'm needless to say, after I went through and looked at these connections, and I don't know why my screen is doing that, so we're gonna move that out. Not really sure why I just did that, but anyway, moving right along. I found out that LinkedIn changed their policy. And of course, they have every right to. It's their platform. They can do what they want to. And the policy now is that you can only do 100 LinkedIn connection requests weekly. Yes, y'all, weekly. Now you think I was doing this daily, and now it is weekly, which is completely just out of my scope. So I've gone down from 250 down to 100 now of the connections that I want to do. And from what I'm hearing, that they're really they're really enforcing this rule that, you know, you may get your hand slapped the first time if you go over 100, but 100 is it. So you're going to want to stay. That is my first recommendation to you after telling you this story, is to make sure that you don't have any more than 100 requests per week. So like for me, I am on the platform basically about 5 days out of the week. So 5 days out of the week basically means I can't go over 20 a day, or I'm gonna get that message. I've reached my weekly limit. So now I'm really monitoring how I am working on LinkedIn, that I don't go over that 100 connection requests, to make sure that I don't go back in jail. Because I mean, I'm sure you all are thinking like me. LinkedIn is a great platform to be on. We have business-minded people, people that know that the platform is used for networking. So it's a little bit different from Facebook. It doesn't have the social aspects of it. People are on there for business. So when people interact with you on LinkedIn, they're doing it for business purposes, which is why I really love doing that, because you're interacting with business-minded people. Not that those same business-minded people are not on Facebook, but I think because of the focus on LinkedIn is about business, you have more of a business type of framework to work in, that people are, when you interact with them, they know you're talking business. So my first recommendation to you as far as the updates is don't go over 100 connection requests. Now, if you are sending out messages to people that you don't know and you don't have premium, because premium allows you to be able to send out, I think, maybe 45 different messages to people that you're not directly connected to. For those that are not with premium, and just to kind of stay under the radar so you don't get in jail, I would recommend that you don't do any more than 10 messages a day. That would be my recommendation. From the research that I've done, I've noticed that that is the recommended number to kind of stay under the radar. So if you're sending out messages, you definitely want to do that. Now, I can tell you personally, I don't send out messages to people that I don't know unless they have sent me some kind of connection request, and I don't know them. We don't have any direct relation, and I'm kind of figuring out why they're trying to interact with me. I do send out those kind of messages, which is one of the reasons that I wanted to connect with premium. But if you are sending out messages, again, my second recommendation is don't do more than 10. And then also, in addition to that, I never knew this because I've been premium really the full time that I've been on LinkedIn, working my networking business for lead generation, is that there are only a certain number of search requests that you can do per month. And these search requests, the number, I think it was 10, I think I read 10 a day. And this is without premium. And this is why I'm saying it like this, because I have premium. So I don't have this hang up, because I've actually paid for the service. But with people that are not premium, you can only have 10 searches a month, and they reset every first of the month. So what the recommendation is that you don't do any more than 2 per week. So if you're looking for one of your connections and you use the search menu, that counts towards the search for you if you didn't know that. So instead of using that search menu, you can go into My Network and then look for the person's name that you're trying to find in My Network, more so than going to that search window, because then one of your searches are going to be taken away based on you going into the search window, actually looking for a search when you could have actually done it in your network, especially if they're already your connection and you can do it that way. So I'm hoping that this was a benefit to you. I do have a guide. So if there were some things that I said to you today that you were trying to write down, don't worry about writing it down. I can send you the guide over. Just comment in the comments, comment guide, and I can send you the link to the guide so you'll have the information, because I don't want you guys to get into LinkedIn jail like I was. So hopefully you can learn from my mistake and not make the same mistake that I did, because I was being much of an overachiever like I am at times. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Thanks again for watching. And again, reply guide if you want the guide.